So let's talk about Social Security today. Daniel, what
Yes.
choices do you have?
Well, you have a choice of anywhere from 62 to 70 to start Social Security.
And you always hear it's better to wait, right? Because the longer you wait, the more Social Security you'll have.
Exactly. You get 8% increase every year by waiting. So let's talk about that. In our firm, we often tell our clients it's much better to take it as early as possible. And there's a number of reasons why that is,
And especially if you don't need it.
especially if you don't need it. If you really need Social Security to be able to eat, you don't have a lot of other savings, then yes, wait as long as possible. But if you are not the average person, that you have some other savings, you have other places to get income from, you may want to think about taking Social Security early.
But there's a couple caveats. First is full retirement age. If you're still working, you got to wait till full retirement age, which is probably between 66 and 67. And because if you take it before then, any money you make over $22,000, for every $2 you make, $1 of Social Security goes away. So it doesn't make any sense.
Right. Now there is an exception to the exception, right? So if you have a business or if you get 1099 income, there may be ways to legally defer or hide some of that so that you can still take Social Security and not be penalized, and then get that income later. Now your spouse's income does not count, so one spouse can retire even if the other one is still working, and you don't get penalized for that. You don't want to wait after age 70, obviously, because it doesn't increase anymore after that.
And also, any other income, like dividend income or interest income, that doesn't count either. It's earned income.
So why would we say it's a good idea to take it early? Well, first of all, let's talk about a tax reason. When I first heard that Social Security was going to be taxed, it was so frustrating to me because it's a tax coming out of my paycheck now, and you're telling me I'm going to get taxed on it again when I receive it?
And Daniel, as I told you before, you're too young to even get Social Security, so don't worry about it. I'm not sure if that makes you feel better, but
Yes.
no taxes for you. No
Yeah, it
Social Security.
probably won't even be there for me, right?
Right.
But in any case, if those of you who are going to get Social Security,
How
here's
do you
how
do
it's
the
taxed.
calculation? How do you figure it out?
So 50% of your Social Security, you take half of the Social Security plus all the other types of income, including non-taxable interests like muni bonds, and all of that together makes provisional income. Now, Roth income and other things is not included in that. Life insurance income is not included in that.
Okay.
But all of these together make provisional income. And then when you put it over, to total that, you look at certain thresholds. And if you're over 44,000 for
A married couple.
married couple, yep, then it's 85% of Social Security would be taxable,
So that means 85% of the Social Security you're getting will be added to your income.
and 15% of it's tax free. So
Right.
15% of Social Security is always tax free, but up to 85% of it might be taxed.
So let's do an example. So my wife and I are going to retire. We both are eligible for Social Security, and I decide I'm going to take Social Security and let my wife wait. I need $60,000 total, so I'll get 40,000 out of my IRA.
So you need 60,000 to live on. You're gonna take 20,000 and let your wife's Social Security grow, so
Right.
she's not taking it now. Okay, so that is a 50,000 of provisional income because you take the 20,000 of Social Security, only half of it counts. So 10,000 plus 40,000 is a $50,000 provisional income. Now 11,000 of that Social Security is now going to be taxable based on those calculations.
All right, cool.
So let's say I retire in the same year, and my wife and I both take Social Security, and we each get 20,000. We're not waiting. Well, what does that do? First of all, it lets our IRA last longer because we only need 20,000 out of the IRA. But also the taxes go down. Why is that? Well, only half the Social Security counts. So now we're getting 40,000, but only 20,000 counts toward the provisional income, and then the 20,000 from the IRA together makes 40,000 of provisional income. And now only 4,000 of our benefits taxable.
And by the way, I want to make a point out here. It says you could have $100,000 or $200,000 in income from life insurance or Roth IRAs that are excluded. That doesn't count. So it doesn't mean you're living on 60,000. You could be living on a couple 100,000.
Exactly. But on the tax return, let's look at Raz versus me. So when you put all the information in on the tax return, he pays $2,500 in
That
taxes.
doesn't seem like a lot.
No, that's not so much, but it's much worse than zero. In my case, I'm paying zero in taxes, and I still have more room in my standard deduction. This is rates are from a few years ago, but it's still the same concept. $2,600 more I could have in my income and still not pay any taxes.
So basically, you're getting about $5,000 more without paying taxes, and I'm getting 5,000 less and paying that.
By taking Social Security earlier, it reduced my taxes and increased my income by $5,000.
So that's one example. Now, what other reason is there to wait on Social Security?
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. If you retired at age 62 today and you qualify for the most you could possibly get for Social Security because you maxed out the earnings, you get about $2,500 a month.
Okay,
If you wait then until age 70, you get $4,500 a month.
that's a lot more. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
it's-
might want to wait. It's almost $2,000 a month.
Yeah, it's a big deal to a lot more money to wait. But what do you miss? You miss that $2,500 a month you could have been getting for 96 months.
Hmm.
That is a $246,000 loss.
Okay, I take that back. Maybe I should take that $250,000.
Well, how long does it take you to break even, right? Because you're going to get more per month, but it takes you 10 years to break even, age 80. And so that's already, a little bit worse than you might think, but it gets even
Worse.
Even worse.
So, for example, I mean, if the dollar that you get today is going to be worth a lot more than a dollar you get 10 years from now, right?
That's true. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But first of all, if you didn't really need it, then you can invest that money. Or you can leave your investments to grow and you can use the Social Security for your living expenses. So now, opportunity costs, let's say you earn 6% on it for the 8 years. Now your break even point's 83. So at age 83, it's the same amount of money either way. Now, Raz, what is the average life expectancy of an American that turns 62 today?
Let me guess. Maybe 83?
83, that's right. So 83 is the average life expectancy in America today if you turn 62 today. So the Social Security Department, the intention is to give everybody the same amount of income, whether they take it early or take it late. So why do you get more? Why is it 8% more a chance? 8% more interest each year? It's because you have 8% higher chance of dying each year.
Wow. So that's a couple of the options, a couple of the reasons why taking Social Security early makes sense.
And then what you just mentioned a second ago is the
inflation savings.
Inflation, right? So last year, 3.2% was the increase in Social Security. Do you think that the inflation rate was really only 3.2%?
Not even close.
So taking it early is probably much better in most cases. So why is it now? We've been talking about several examples of why it makes sense to take Social Security early, but why is it that everybody else, all the other advisors and people on TV and radio, they're always saying delay, take it as late as possible, wait as long as possible?
Because we're talking to the 5%, the two people that have money, that have saved money, that worked hard and put money aside. The average person doesn't have that, right? What does the average person have?
Well, the average American made about $35,000 a year in their income, and they retire with less than $10,000 saved altogether. So if you are in that average category for income or wealth in America, and you're watching this video, then it does not really apply to you. You probably should wait as long as possible. But if you have more than average wealth and income, you should do things differently than the average person to be able to preserve and be most efficient with what you have. If you are not a common or average person, then you should do things differently than the common or average person.
So, and again, this may not apply to you, so this is for information purposes only. So don't take this as the gospel truth. But you really want to sit down with us as a fiduciary. We'll talk to you about your specific situation and give you better, more specific information for you that would be more tailored to you.
So click the link in the description and you can set up a video call with us and we'll be happy to talk to you.
I hope this was helpful.